go. So round 3 of the TCR Formula 2 off-season. 4.38 kilometer, 14-turn circuit. This circuit is notoriously difficult to overtake on. It's often compared to circuits like Monaco or Singapore, a short, narrow-ish circuit, very difficult to overtake. It's also one of the shortest circuits on the calendar. All of that combined turns this track into a very chaotic place for racing. Sometimes it's boring, a lot of the time it isn't. It tends to be quite chaotic, especially if the clouds decide to pay us a visit and drop a few bits of rain. As we now go on to one-shot qualifying. These guys have only got one lap to determine their place on the grid for the feature race here at Hungary. It appears to be dry weather, which is very, very good. I've completely ignored you, Dougie. Yeah. Alongside me today, or well, in your case tonight, is Dougie Falcons. It's a pleasure to have you alongside me.
Hi, thank you for ignoring me, but hello. I was just here just letting you do your own thing, but yeah, we're going to qualify. One-shot qualifying for the Hungarian F2 race. Yeah, it's good to be here. I was just talking half an hour ago during the pre-season test. Now we're off to do F2 straight away. First proper league race of the year, you could say. And yeah, going to be an exciting race for Hungary. As the drivers are going around turn 3, climbing up the hill, double A, Kit and Peda. Both two drivers fighting for the title as we speak, as Go-To Guy nails the corner and Swana nails the corner as well. So a tough battle for top 4 drivers between double A, Kit and Peda, Go-To Guy and Swana at the moment, leading as they get past the chicane, coming past into turn 8, I believe.
Yep.
Into turn 9 and 10, yeah. As they go through the sweeping S's. And then the tricky corner on 10 and 11, if you go wide, you invalidate your time. Which no one seems to have done. Into turn 12, tricky little braking and a bit of an awkward corner, and then we come to the long left-hander into turn 13. And the final corner. Let's decide who will get pole position at the moment. It looks like Swarna Spada taking his Kit and Peda versus Go-To Guy, and double A coming out of nowhere. Swarna takes pole position by 4 tenths. And double A, Kit and Peda, Go-To Guy, in P4, 1/10 covering second to fourth.
Wow. I mean, look at that. Swarna, the only driver in the 28, so 1 minute 28.7. And as you said, the next 3 guys in the 29s, all within 1/10 of each other. Then it drops away quite ferociously for the rest of the drivers on the grid. I think the next best time was a 31 something, if I'm not, 31 flat. So these top 4 guys are looking like they're in a league of their own. So Swarna takes pole position with double A in P2, Kit and Peda P3, Go-To Guy P4, Coleman P5, Be Good Fever P6, Log P7, Ben Swerven P8, Erec P9, India P10, Mr. Sensation P11, Locking Up P12, Case in Your Face P13, Lopez P14, and Bam Bam rounds off the grid after disqualifying himself. I thought I saw his name drop down the leaderboard, but yeah. And Lopez, no time at all. I wonder how he's done that. Not quite sure.
He probably retired during the session. So, yeah, Swana stealing the 4 points off the 2 campus racing drivers. The 2 campus racing drivers are fighting for this championship. Double A is championship leader as we head to round 2 with Kit and Peda in second place. And Swana, anyway, who was it that didn't win? Who was it that won in Italy in the sprint race? I believe it was.
Was it Swarna? I think no.
It wasn't. It wasn't Swarna. It was. Was it Locking Up?
No, because I guessed. I had
you
a
guessed
guess.
correctly.
I guessed correctly, and I can't. Was it?
Can't remember who it was.
I can't remember because yeah, you're absolutely right. Only Kit and Peta and Double A were the only winners up until that
That
point,
point.
that sprint race at Monza. Uh, and I can't remember who I predicted. I'm sure it's one of them.
We'll find out in a bit. Someone tell us in the comments if you're watching right now who won that sprint race in Italy.
Please, we need to know.
But yeah, so on the takes pole position from Double A in P2. Kitten Feather in P3 would go to Guy in P4. Could pose a threat. Coleman in P5. The next runner, teammate to Warner in the Trident team. Be Good in P6. Log in P7. Ben 7. Or 7 in P8. Erect in P9. Nydia TV P10. Good work to do there. Sensation P11, looking up P12, Case in Your Face in P13, Lopez Matias Fly, who didn't set a time, felt like he probably retired or made an error somewhere, in P14, and Bam Bam, who got disqualified, starts at the back of the grid. As we know, if you finish in top 8, it's reverse grid for the sprint race, 19 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it seems to be dry. Another thing to note is that 8th place will get you pole position for that sprint race, and maybe qualifying could be an all-important factor, as the drivers are now being bunched up quite aggressively, actually, in the mid-sector. It's like they're trying to avoid each other and try and give space from each other, but yeah.
I just had a look at the previous stream at Monza. It was Be Good Fever that I predicted.
Be Good Fever, yeah, it was. I knew it was.
And he got it because of Double A's penalty towards the end of the race,
yes,
and he snatched the win.
Yes, it was Be Good Fever. But yes, as we come around to the last corner, Spoiler is about to start the grid, and yeah.
Alrighty, so drivers are now lining up in their respective grid places. Schwarner on pole position, but he's got two very fast drivers behind him in the form of Double A and Kitzenpetter. These two guys have been dominating the Formula 2 races this year, and they're probably set out to dominate again. Just a quick note, Double A is on the soft compound tyre. Schwarner and Kitzenpetter, they're on the mediums. Quite an interesting choice from those drivers. So here we go. The game's gonna just make us wait a little bit. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And away we go here in Hungary. And Warner absolutely lighting it up at the start, as you should. There's no need to lift. But it's Double A. He gets the jump because of the softer tyre. And Kitapeta follows him into turn 1. Double A takes the lead from Schwarner. It seems to be relatively okay from everyone in the field. It's been very smooth so far. So Double A leads with Schwarner in second, Kitapeta in P3, under attack from Go To Guy in P4. Be Good. The guy I predicted to win at the sprint race at Monza, currently in P5. P6 is Log, P7 Coleman.
Oh, big crash!
Oh my goodness!
Exit of the corner from Ben and Bam Bam, I believe. Both drivers. Ben loses the back end, hits into Bam Bam, coming up to the exit of turn 3. And Bam Bam being the unlucky bystander there, being collected in all of that.
So did Ben lose it himself, or was there contact?
Yeah, Ben. I believe Ben lost it himself, and went to the back. Swarner almost losing it. Swarner almost losing the back end. Go To Guy.
Coleman's lost the back end as well. Oh my goodness me. Coleman, so Coleman and Log losing 7 places each on the first lap.
Yeah. Hopefully so Swarner, Go To Guy gets P2 from Swarner after losing it from the exit of turn 11. So Double A now leads and has a decent gap. We'll let you know.
Oh,
someone's crashed again. Be Good.
No.
Be Good Fever.
Be Good. No.
Be Good.
No. I thought that was Schwarner. It looked like Schwarner, but no, Be Good Fever. Losing it at the worst place possible. He now has to do an entire lap of the circuit with a destroyed front wing. Bam Bam and Schwerven into the pits as you'd expect. They will have damaged wings. Oh, and that is definitely a penalty for Schwerven, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. As Casey in your face spins as well at turn 1. At the exit of turn 1, it's absolute chaos here at Hungary. I said at the beginning, it was either going to be a boring race, it's going to be absolute chaos. It looks like it's going to be absolute chaos. Absolutely brilliant at the moment.
Chaotic first lap, that's for sure. I wasn't expecting like that to be all so sudden, but at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be big work to do. First of all, for the rest, lost the front wings as Coleman missed the center station, and now going Hammer and Tom's P9 at the moment, going side by side through.
They're still going side by side. Oh, almost contact between the two. Oh, you can't go side by side through there, fellas. You've got to put each other in the wall. Thank goodness. Oh, he goes back on the inside. What a move from Coleman. Down the inside into turn 11.
Coleman puts it up the inside in turn 11. That's actually an impressive move there.
That is a really impressive move. And they got yellow flags in sector 2. What on earth is happening? Someone must have spun somewhere.
Someone spun, but there's now a three wide coming up with Erek, Lopez, and Nidia.
Here we go.
Coming into turn 1.
Very clean from
3 wide. And Erek takes P5 from Lopez, Nidia being the unlucky driver at the moment, losing 2 positions, I believe.
But, you say unlucky. He's made up 8 places. He started P14.
Well, yeah.
So
he did start P14.
So I don't think he'd be too displeased about losing 2 positions. To make up that many places at the start of the race.
Yeah, Lopez is also a big gainer as well after starting P15.
Oh my goodness me! Nidia almost losing it. Coming into the chicane, putting the outside wheels onto the grass, almost collecting Lopez in the process. That was massive. Yellow flag sector 3. I think the game is trolling us. It doesn't appear to.
Yeah, it was Ben spinning in that 15th place, having a nightmare race.
As Mr. Sensation and Coleman. Coleman's into the wall! Where on earth is that? That's turn 10, I think? Yeah, turn 10.
Coming up to the exit of 10.
How on earth did he end up there? He was having a battle with Mr. Sensation. Somehow he ended up into that wall. Hopefully they're recording. I would like to see what happened there. As Lopez is now launching an attack on Erek. Down the inside, into turn 1. He'll get DRS. I think he gets the job done. He's now up into P5. Whew.
Yeah, passing Erek quite easily in the inside of the second DRS zone. Getting up to speed, Lopez now up to P5, started 14th. As I was mentioned before everything was going off, he started 14th, and now he's up to P5, and now he's only 10 seconds off the lead. So, Lopez on the soft tyre. We haven't reached the first pit stop yet.
Not yet,
but
no.
on the soft tyre. It's got everything to do. It's starting to...
Sector 2 yellows. Oh, it's
Nidia spun.
Coming out of turn 5, I was going to mention one of the key features about this circuit, particularly with turn 5, the inside curb is pretty much an auto spin curb. You want to avoid it at all costs. As soon as you touch it, it really unsettles the car and you put yourself into a spin.
It's a risk in the world corner because the closer you are to that corner, it actually helps you get a good exit to the chicane. So if you have to be close, but touch it, you'll spin. It's a bit of a risk or reward kind of thing that they've done in the game. But yeah, unfortunately, Nidia touched the curb and spun. But he's still P8, running around effectively in pole position for the sprint race.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So everyone seems to be in their own little world except for the battle for P3, Schwerner and Kittenpetter. Kittenpetter's found a lot of speed. He's now within DRS range of Schwerner.
Yep.
I suspect he's going to be launching an attack anytime soon.
Yeah, you've got Schwerner and Kittenpetter both on the same strategy, both with medium tyres. going towards the well, it's actually, is it medium tires or soft tires? Yeah, it's called medium tires. Sorry.
Mediums for both, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere mediums here, and yeah, both of them are still doing the same strategy, trying to go along and then get the nice fresh soft tires so they can do some overtaking towards the end and try and get back lost ground from Double A and Go-To Guy, who are both kind of in a world of their own at the moment. Getting better with an 8/10 gap, trying to, as he goes really wide at exit 11, actually he loses time there a little bit, but doesn't seem to affect him too much.
As Coleman picks up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Double A and Go-To Guy really pulled away at the start, but you kind of expect that, them being on the softer tyre. I would like to see how much pace Schwarner and Quinton Petter has towards the end of the race. I believe they will be really, really fast towards the end and potentially challenge for the lead. Potentially. It depends how Go-To Guy and Double A handled their first stint.
Yeah, it's all starting to die down a little bit now. It's starting to be a neutral point now in the race, where before we were actually waiting for their strategies, but all that chaos is gone, and now we've got just one battle left, and that is for P3 at the moment, what we're watching.
Oh my goodness me, case in your face! Lighting it up, coming out of turn 13, he spins the car, loses a place. Does he lose any more? And destroys his front wing. Oh my goodness me. And Mr. Sensation, he's into the pits as well. No damage, so this is a regulation pit
scheduled stop. Yep, scheduled stop, and he has made his stop. So, we've got the first runners going on lap 6, but then again, Mr. Sensation was having kind of a quiet race so far. In P11 right now, but you'll probably get points. And yeah, I think we're just going to wait until the strategy's open up for the top 4 drivers, well, top 2 drivers really, don't Go-To Guy and Double A. Try to see where they come out. If they come out in traffic, as Double A does pit, does Go-To Guy do the same? No, he doesn't. He goes and stays out.
Oh, 5-second penalty.
Stability.
Oh, that is a massive kick in the gut for Double A.
You'll need to start pushing a bit more. Got 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane.
Oh, is a Lopez as well.
Lopez has got the same. Yeah, the pit lane speed limit for F2s is 37. It's not the same as F1 cars.
It's not the same.
It's catching a lot. It is also it's 37.
Oh,
not 650. It's 37 literally everywhere. In every single track, not 50. So that's why it's catching these drivers out, is that they forgot about the pit lane. Speed limit between the 2 categories.
We've got a few drivers coming in for their pit stops. Now we've got sector 2 yellows. It's now gone.
Yeah, it's almost fun. It is Nydia. No, it's not Nydia, it's Ben. Ben spins again, sorry, never mind. Ben, Nydia, I think.
Okay, thank goodness Ben getting off the circuit. I just saw him coming back on. I was hoping that he saw the drivers behind him, because he was perpendicular to the whole circuit. I was really quite concerned then. I should also ask, is it only the top 10 that score points like in real life Formula C? In the
feature race? Feature race, yes.
Okay.
Feature race, yes. Sprint race is top 8.
Top 8, yeah. As Go-To Guy comes into the pits, 7 laps on the softs, so he's going to have fresher tyres in comparison to everyone else who made stops earlier, as E-Rec comes into the pit as well.
Yep, so now we got the 2 medium runners now leading the Grand Prix. And you've got Swanner on a 9-10 gap. Kitten can't really get into that lead, or that gap, really. It's been hovering around 7/10 to a second every lap, so. But Swanner goes really wide, and this is the closest Kitten's ever been for a little while. It looks like he can't really do anything about it. As we got a yellow sector 1, E-Rex spins on this. Oh, a big crash. He lost it. He probably made contact with Log, potentially. So E-Rex Loses his
completely
front wing.
destroying his front wing too.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So
As
Erect is out of it. As Double A locking up. Double A getting past locking up. Fair and square for P3 and P4.
as we got a battle for P10, Mr. Sensation versus Bam Bam. They're now having a good battle as Be Good Fever and Coleman. These are for non-scoring positions, but hopefully they will be as entertaining as the battle is ahead of us. Anyone else? But yeah, as you were talking about Kitten Pether, you're right. It's been hovering around that 2nd to 7/10 gap. He hasn't made any big advances towards Schwarner. Maybe his car might have a little bit more aero in comparison to Schwarner, so he's losing a lot of time on the straights perhaps, or even through the
Alright.
faster corners where he needs a lot of downforce and he's just losing corner speed. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, hasn't made any big advances.
He hasn't made any inroads, and I feel like if he probably got past, he might go away, but I feel like Sorna's doing enough at the moment just to get a good exit at the last corner where the DRS zone is, and the first corner for that matter, and is doing a solid millisecond. He's doing enough to pull away, and right now is actually starting to pull away properly. He's got another yellow flag in Sector 2 somewhere, as someone's
It's
at
case
the
in your
office.
face. Exit of turn, oh well, a fairway. It's after turn 5, just before the chicane.
Yeah.
How on earth?
Kitten uses back end exit turn 12, and he hits the wall. Loses a lot of time now. Maybe he might need to consider pitting earlier than Swinner. Just not enjoying the tyres as Swinner is at the moment. As Lopez gets past Log.
Bam Bam, a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. We've now got... I'm not sure if that... Yes, it is a battle. Okay, I wasn't too sure if that was lap cars. It's locking up.
Yeah,
Go to guy.
Go to guy. At the moment, I don't know what the gap is. 5.8 seconds between go to guy and Double A. That's fine for Double A if he wants to win this race. 8/10 he'll win it by at the moment. If go to guy wants to win the race, he needs to be within 5 seconds. He's 5.8, and yeah, that's about it. Log does pit from his crash earlier. As we have another spinner, Be Good spins again. Where is that? That is 10-10. 10-8. No, 10-10.
10-10. So the same place as Coleman, not quite as deep. I wonder what's catching him out. Maybe he's getting the outside tyres onto the grass, unsettles the car and spins it round.
It's probably that.
As Log goes on to the softs. Oof, 9 laps on the softs.
9 laps on the softs, but I feel like...
What choice does he have, really?
He's not much of a choice, but he is...
no! Lights it up at pit exit. He's into the wall. Oh my goodness me. And no damage. You're kidding me, Codemasters. No damage.
It is unreduced.
Yes, but really? Like, really? You got a bit of a lucky break there, Log. Maybe Codemasters was just feeling so sorry for the guy. Oh.
Maybe. But yeah, at the moment, go-to guy sets the fastest lap, but the gap is still around 5.9 seconds. So he's trying to narrow the gap down, but still got 8 laps to go. 5.8 seconds is the gap. He could do it, as long as he's within 0.3 of a second faster, but we'll have to wait and see. As we have to wait also and see, find out, for good measure, if when Kitten and Sorna do pit, which will probably say lap 12, lap 13, is when we'll see them two pit, and give Double A the inherent lead, and go to guy for P2 for good measure as well. So, it's pretty much a waiting game right now.
Yeah.
Not much is happening.
Just see how the strategies play out, particularly with Schwarner and Kittenpetter. As Kittenpetter, he's now 2 seconds down on Schwarner, so he's really not liking these medium tyres.
He's not. He made 2 errors, 2 crucial errors, one at turn 12, and the last corner as well, and he lost about a second and a half there, and I think that's kind of what's... It hasn't caught up since, so I think Kitten is not really liking these tyres. He can't really catch back up again. So he might be the early runner to pit. And pit for a fresh set of sauce to try and go for an undercut on Schwarner.
And Schwerven a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Yeah.
So you're looking at Kitten probably going for the undercut. Because right now is a good time to pit for the sauce. They can go 7 laps.
This game keeps trolling me. It keeps showing me yellow flags in Sector 1 when it turns out to be nothing. For goodness sake. But yeah, I completely agree. Kitten is going to have to try an undercut, try and get the gap back, now up to 3 seconds. 7 laps on the softs. Go-to guy did 7 laps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did. He did 7 laps on the softs and went pit.
So it's very much doable.
Schwarner locks up to turn 12. He also might consider just doing the undercut, covering himself off of Kitten, because he knows he's pretty much got P3 down, unless he can be able to feel like he can catch go-to guy in the final runs, as Kitten does pit and does try and go for the undercut.
That is a 5-second penalty. Oh my goodness. I think he recognised that he braked way too late, because you could see him accelerate just before reaching the line. Try and minimise minimise the amount of time lost. Try and get a bit back.
But he has he does have the soft tyres, so he could probably mount a challenge at the moment. He just needs to get past Locking Up, who has pit? No, Locking Up hasn't pitted yet, so he just needs to just maintain the gap. I think probably he's going to get P4.
Turn 5, it's claimed another. Locking Up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. It is a death trap, turn 5. You touch that inside curb at all, and it spins you round.
He does, as Casey in his face did a similar thing? No, he didn't. Well, he did do a similar thing.
He did, but it was a bit different, because, that's one way to try and retire your car, Casey in your face. You could just click retire.
Schwarner does pit. Schwarner now pits for his set of soft tyres, does not get a penalty, crucially.
So Ness will now put Double A into the lead, but he does have 5 seconds over his head, so...
Yeah, it does. At the moment the gap is still around 5.9 seconds, 5.8 seconds at this point. And...
As Locking Up gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh dear.
Yep, he's not the only one. Schwarner comes out the pits comfortably, you'd say.
But only 1.2 seconds now, so he's cut that gap in half, so he's done what he's needed to do, Kittenpetter.
He did, yeah, the undercut did work very well. Shame if he was a bit closer, he might have gotten him. But,
in fact, he might be within DRS range at the end of the lap. It's only a second between the two.
Yeah, a second, but Schwarner now needs to find 9 seconds to catch to go-to guy, which I don't think is
be good.
strictly possible.
Be good at the chicane.
Yep.
So Kittenpetter is now well within DRS range. He's now 8 tenths behind Schwarner on the warmer tyre. Typically gives better grip. And Schwarner's tyres are still warming up, still coming up to pressure. Sector 3 yellow, that'll be for the slow car. Yep. So Schwarner running a little bit wide at turn 13. Missing the apex, he'll lose a little bit of time.
There you go, the guy's still the fastest lap. Gap is now 5.3 seconds, so the guy's starting to put on the pressure with 4 laps to go. It's Kitten. He has DRS. As Kitten sets the fastest lap, can Sorna respond to that pressure as well, even despite having the 5-second time penalty?
Hopefully these strategies all come together. I mean, if it's to go to guy either, that gap, what's that, about 8.5 seconds now? So he's made up half a second?
Yeah, about 8.5 seconds is a gap, and moment I think Sorna is locked in. Yeah, Sorna's pretty much locked into. Yeah, he's locked into P3 at the moment. Battle for pole position for the sprint race at P8, India, on his own. P8.
So we've got sector 2 yellows. Anyone dropping through the order? I think it's a slow car. It is. Case in your face, pulling off to the side.
Yep, you got Sorna and Kitten. You need only 2 major battles at the moment. There's no major battles going on right now.
No, everyone is actually really quite spread out from each other at the moment. This is literally the closest thing to a battle that we've got. I've just noticed with Kitten Petter, his car has horrendous understeer coming out of turn 14. I've noticed that a couple of times now. He really gets horrendous understeer, and because of that he loses a lot of time coming onto the pit straight, which means he has more work to do throughout the rest of the track to try and catch back up to Schwarner. And as you can see now, the gap is 1.8 seconds, so he's really falling away at a rapid pace now.
Yeah, his tyres is now starting to fall away a little bit. Good look at that as well. Maybe he just made a little error coming into the entry point of turn 14. Just had to do a lot of understeer, went wide. He goes wide again. He's making, yep. Goes wide again. Now he's lost a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much, well, he was always going to be P4, but that's pretty much guaranteed P3. So on track anyway. But yeah, at the moment, the other guy had a bad lap. He lost a second. He was within 5.3 seconds. He's now gone to 6.5. Lost 1.2 seconds in the last couple of laps. So at the moment, it's looking like double A, despite having a 5-second time penalty. He's probably going to win the race from Go-To-Guy in P2 and Swan in P3, and I think that's your race.
Yeah,
I think that is the race.
Hang on, we do have a battle. We do. It's for P9 Missile Sensation and Wrecked. We've got that. We've got something.
We've got something with 2 laps to go.
So these two will be fighting for 2 points, I think. Is it 2 points for P9?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Was that around the outside?
It was around the outside, yes. Missile Sensation goes wide at the exit of turn 4. Erect just swooped past, went round the outside into turn 5, and gets the position done. Can Sensation have an answer for that?
Oh, I'm not too sure. Sensation on 3-lap older mediums, so he doesn't have the grip. Yeah, you can see it now.
It does not. It does not have the grip. He is understeering everywhere like a boat. And double locks up for good measure, coming up to turn 12. There you go, that was your battle.
Yay! It wasn't much, but it was something. Yay!
There we go.
But yeah, I am really surprised of how spread out everyone is to each other.
Yep.
They're literally in their own worlds at the moment, with 2 laps to go.
But 2 laps to go. The reverse grid is looking like India TV will get pole position from Bam Bam P2, Ben Sullivan retires from the race, having a miserable afternoon in the future.
As Be Good loses it at the chicane. Don't crash into anyone. There we go. Another... Who's that? Oh, come on. You can't show me sector 2 and 3 yellow flags and no one... Oh, damn codemasters.
Yeah, that was probably Ben retiring. But, yes. So yeah, India will probably start in pole. There we go. And then we got Bam Bam.
But how about the drive from Lopez and Bam Bam? Actually, Lopez lucking up and Bam Bam up 9, 6 and 8 places respectively. That is a mega race for these three.
Yeah, Lopez made up his race pretty much at the start in his first stint in the soft tyre. Like, started 14th on the grid, and now up to P5, kind of in a world of his own, really. And stayed there, pretty much. Who was the other person? India was another one, and there was another one, was it? Lucking Up. Who was the one you mentioned, sorry?
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam, yes.
He started from dead last. He's now in P7. Made up 8 places.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And starts in the front row for the sprint.
Starting
and
P12 up to P6.
Yeah. Lucking Up will start third in the grid. So the 2 Dams cars will be in second and first row of the grid for the sprint race. As we head to the last lap, and Double A having a quiet race, despite having the 5-second stop-go penalty. Does go on.
Unless he makes a mistake. I don't think he
mistake, which he hasn't done all race. Besides that penalty, he hasn't actually made any mistakes at all, and could afford to just relax really for the last 2 corners. Doesn't need to even push. He's got a 1.5 second gap pretty much, and yeah, he's got it.
Bam Bam, what on earth? Failed to use required compounds in junction with the mandatory pit stop.
Didn't use 2 sets of the same tires, but there we go. Double A wins the Hungarian F2 race. Double A takes P1. Go to Guy will take P2. Canada gets 1-2 with Swarna taking P3 after starting pole position, having that bad start, and the strategy didn't really work out for P3. Kitten Peller in P4. But with Kitten in P4, here's Bam Bam. That's so weird because he did start on a soft tire. He did do it, so they disqualified him for no reason.
Did he? So Bam Bam
did
he start. Oh yeah, because he has 17 lap old mediums.
Yeah, so he pitted for mediums. That's so I feel so sorry for him because like he shouldn't have got disqualified there.
Wait, race director, Bam Bam. Let's have a look. Yeah, he started on the softs. Yeah. Well, the Codemasters doing its thing, I suppose. I mean,
I had to double check that. I was like, "There's no way he would forget that," but that's so unfortunate for Bam Bam.
So he started on the softs, did 2 laps on the soft, then he did this mega stint with the mediums, do 17 laps, finishes what should have been P6, and he gets.
I need to get disqualified. So he wrecked. So Nidia gets P7 then, and doesn't start on pole. Evrecht will start on pole position for the Hungarian sprint race.
So
I feel so sorry for Bam Bam.
Wow, I have never seen that before.
I've never seen that before. No,
oh my goodness, Codemasters basically saying, "Oh, there's not enough drama in this race, so we're going to throw this in for you." Bam Bam disqualified for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I have never ever seen that before. Wow. Oh, I hate to think what he's thinking right now. Oof.
But yeah, at the moment, yeah, so Double A wins the Hungarian feature race from Go To Guy in P2, having a quiet race. Swanner in P3, Kitten Penner in P4 after having that penalty kind of killed the race for him. Lopez Matthews 5 started 14th, finished 5th, locking up 12th, finished 6th. India TV started 10th, finished 7th. Erect P8 starts pole position for the feature race. Logging P9, Mr. Sensation grabs a point. P13, 4 laps down. And then got Ben and Bam Bam, the unlucky runner, having been disqualified in qualifying, being disqualified in the race after through no fault of his own, and now starts 15th again and has to do it all over again.
Wow.
Such a...
Oh, I said it was either going to be boring or chaotic. It was both at the same time. That wow. Okay.
But we get heavy
hello. Okay. Everybody, get
Heavy
ready.
rain.
It's gonna be. You thought the first race was chaotic. Oh boy, this race is probably going to be even more so. Codemasters deciding to turn it up a little bit.
But yeah, here we go. Heavy wet. Was it sprint race? And it's going to be 10 laps, I believe, for this sprint race. It's going to be something or other. It's going to be somebody crashes.
It's gonna be something.
Who
Oh, boy.
knows what's going to happen at this start? But we do know who's going to be on pole, and that is Erect. Starts pole from India in P2. Those two on the front row. Started this 8th and 9th, hopefully as Erect loses it on the formation. That 4 cars lose it on the grass, on the inside, on the straight, the formation. That was the pole sitter, was one of them. So, what can we say?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Erect.
this is what it's going to be like for the rest. 14 laps. 14. It's not 10, it's 14.
14
So
laps.
it's,
I thought it was 10.
more time for chaos. Oh boy.
14 laps of this. Holy.
No traction control, no ABS.
Yes, I remember doing this and getting a puncher in the last. Was it the puncher in the last lap or something?
Yeah,
so I went straight to the.
But that was
like 3 laps ago.
That was the feature race.
Yeah, that was in the feature race. Yeah,
the full wet tyre couldn't quite make it, but luckily, this is only the sprint race, so the the full wet tyre can make it to the end.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we mentioned Direct on pole position and loses it again. India is in P2, locking up P3. Lopez Matias fly P4, probably favourite for this race. He had a strong start actually. Kitten Feather in P5, Sworn in P6, Go To Guy, AA, P7, P8. These top 4 drivers, very good at what they do. Dry, and they do it and master it in the wet. P9 is Log, Mr. Sensation in P10 with Be Good Fever in P12 and Case in Your Face. P13, Ben in P14, and Bam Bam. I feel so sorry for him still. Bam Bam in P15 has all the work to do again. But as the drivers come around the grid, we'll have Erect starting it leading the way from the front. Can he do a master stroke and probably win it, the Hungarian Grand Prix, in the wet? But we'll have to find out.
Alright,
Drivers line up to it.
Drivers are lining up, but we got a few stragglers behind because they were spinning out, and I think these are the last 2. I'm not mistaken. Yep. It appears to be.
Yep, last two.
Alright. This is going to be good, I think. This is going to be really good. Oh, here we go.
Case in Your Face is the last one. There we go.
Oh boy. 14 laps. Full wet conditions. Formula 2 cars with no traction control or ABS. This is going to be very, very chaotic as we have 5 red lights and we are underway for the sprint race at Hungary. Ooh. Oh, everyone's, oh my goodness. One of the other cars, he loses it and he collects someone in the background. Oh my goodness me, it is 3 wide, almost 4 wide into turn 1. Look at these guys, they're all bunching up as Lopez overtakes them all. He has the inside for the Little King, now coming into turn 2. Oh my goodness. Can he do it around the
takes the lead.
outside? No, he cannot. Yes, he can. No, he can't. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Oh, someone going very, very wide there.
It's two canvas drivers and they come together coming in the exit turn 3. Almost what happened what Ben did in the feature race. And yeah, India takes the lead.
Very wide at turn 4. He's on the grass. Oh my goodness. Don't touch that inside curb, lucking up. Oh, and that is Log almost losing it, coming out of turn 5. Someone's cutting the chicane. I think it was Nydia. Oh my goodness, it's all happening, folks.
It's all happening. So Nydia leads the Grand Prix from Lopez at P2. Erect dropping 2 places, and his teammate, go-to guy, in P4. Someone's spinning. It's double. It is Kitten Feather.
Oh my goodness me! It doesn't appear to be any damage. I wonder if he did it by himself. Nydia has been overtaken. Lopez and Nydia side by side. Go-to guy jumps up into P3.
Lopez takes the lead. Lopez takes the lead after like 1 lap.
Someone's going very wide. I think it's Swarnak wide into 13.
As Nydia spins, hits into go-to guy, and Nydia gone.
Oh my goodness! Front wing! Oh my goodness! That is horrible! Oh no! Who was that? I think that was. No. Oh my goodness!
It was Log, and it was Nydia who's spinning from the exit. Went to collect a go-to guy, and there's still more carnage. Just Kitten collects. Who is that? Mr. Sensation, and there's nowhere to go. As Ben passes Kitten is having a miserable race.
Oh my goodness me! Alright, so let's reset, everybody, let's settle down. So Lopez leads, Erect in P2,
Lopez.
Double A, up 5 places.
Double A now P3 after all that chaos. Diddy was leading for like 3 corners and then loses the back end, hit go-to guy, the unlucky bystander.
Double A and Erect are side by side.
Double A gets position, getting a good exit. Getting a good exit. Double A. Now up to P2.
Up 6 places, but it isn't the most. The most is Bam Bam, up 10 places from the start.
Bam Bam.
He's up into P5 from last on the grid. Oh my goodness. As Log loses it at turn 5. How many times have we said that this race? Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, and he spins again.
Who's that? Mr. Sensation into the wall. Where on earth is that? That is turn 9, I think. Turn 8, turn 9.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, turn 9.
Oh my goodness.
Who's that? Erect losing position now to Swarna. Swarna now back up to P3. So we've got Lopez now leading with a 3-second gap now. Starting to eke out the gap. Double A's now starting to catch. We got Swarna now up to P3. Erect now P4 in a solid position. Remember, only top 8 drivers score points. So as go-to guy does pit after having such a bad luck coming into the last corner as India backed out and then collected him with him, and then still gets hit again after like 3 other drivers were catching up into the melee of what was going on. As Ben pits as well. Kittenfeather still continuing on with the damage that he had, having a miserable first lap.
So go-to guy and Ben swerving into the pits, having to, replace their front wing.
Yep, that's pretty much a try and get into P8, which Mr. Sensation has. With 11 laps. So you got Lopez eating from Double A. We got Swarna. Now starting to catch a little bit to Double A. Erect is down in a solid P4. Bam Bam is pretty much on his own, but having a solid race again. Bam Bam has been disqualified for a new fault of his own, putting that past him, and now he's up to P5 again. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified this time. He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. But Codemasters.
So,
You never know.
yep, codemasters. You never know. You're yellow and
Oh, that's lucking
62,
up.
no?
It's
Looking
lucking
up,
up.
yeah.
That's to the entrance of turn. What is that?
Entrance 10-11.
And
Exit will 10-11.
Be Good
10-10.
almost collects,
Be
lucking
Good.
up there. Oof.
Yeah, Be Good tries to avoid it.
I think
Good
that's Ben
P6.
causing that.
As Lopez sets the fastest lap. They won 45.7.
Oh, but that, what a start to the race! Oh my goodness. It all went off, but now everyone seems to be in their own little world.
Yeah, reverse grid in the wet is very chaotic at the start. Because who knows what was going to happen there. It was literally going to be up in the air, anything could have happened. But
oh my
we had to
goodness!
lap 4. And
Oh,
it's
we
starting
got
to
yellow
calm down a
flag,
little bit.
sector 2, who's that? I don't know who that is.
Oh, it's Sensation double locks up and hits the wall in the turn 1. And he's got Kitten Better now within a second behind him now.
So it appears
Top
Mr.
8.
Sensation will have to pit. He's got a broken front wing. I think he's missing an end plate. Kitten Better will quite easily get around him.
Yeah, Timber does have damage as well. It's a yellow again in sector 2 and 3. That is Ben knocked.
Oh,
but
I think there was contact between Petter and Sensation. Oh, there was definitely contact between Petter and Sensation. Petter is not at all happy with that. He's lost an end plate. He's now effectively got the same amount of damage that Mr. Sensation has. Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, it looked like Mr. Sensation brake checked him in the exit. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, Kitten Petter, front left end plate completely gone. Sensation, I think it's the front right. No, both end plates. Oh my dearie me. As we now got swerving.
Yeah.
5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ah, he's retired from the session.
Sensation has to concede position, getting better. Goes the inside of turn 12. And takes the position. And Sensation trying to fight back, kind of, but kind of locks up and goes wide.
Both drivers stay out. None of them wishing to repair their front wing.
Yeah, Kittenfeld taking 8th place, the solitary point you get with it.
Woof. Battles. We do have one potentially for P6, lucking up, and V Good fighting for P6.
Oh, yes, and lucking up.
Oh,
lucking up, drifting through turn 3. lucking up, literally drifted through turn 3. That was a good drift, actually.
Tokyo drifted it through turn 3 and almost puts it into the wall. Oh my goodness.
That was a very good drift. He's putting too much power down again. Bigov now steals P6.
Oh, goodness me. I think everything has settled back down again, I think.
Yeah, everything's settled back down again. I think everyone's now starting to get a feel for the conditions now. With halfway through the race, they're only starting to now feel the conditions. As sort of going to the dry line, I feel like the weather is starting to ease up a little bit potentially. But there's no intermediate tires, of course, in F2 cars, so you basically got wet or nothing. So they literally got to just stick it out. As lucking up gets past Be Good Beaver.
Oh, lucking up
hits the wall again.
Into the wall! He's done a Vettel!
He just got...
Oh, actually, not quite, but he's done a Vettel.
He literally just got past him. Went on the curve.
Almost collected Kitten Petter! Oh my god! Oh, Kitten Petter going out onto the grass. I don't know why he did that for. Oh, he's sliding. Yeah. Oh my goodness me! I should also pay mention to this Double A is gaining. It was about 2.5 seconds. It's now 2. And we've got 9 laps to go. 8 when they cross the finish line. Oof.
Yeah.
We might have a
Locking
battle
up
for
now.
the lead, folks.
We might do locking up now, gets past, loses position to Go To Guy. Who now is up into P8, gets a point, and Go To Guy now.
No! Oh, no, locking up! Oh my goodness me! Oh, how many spins was that too? Oh, he's still doing spins. I've never seen a racing car in F1 2019 do that many spins coming out of turn 3. I counted 4, maybe 5 spins. Oh my goodness me! As he goes ahead and tries to bin the car. Oh no.
For locking up.
Oh.
No luck there, unfortunately, as he goes and spins. But yeah, gap, as you say, for the lead has come down. It was 2.8. It was almost 3 seconds, and then now it's now dropped down to 1.5. So Double A now starting to put the pressure onto Lopez. Now with 7 laps to go, 1.4 seconds is Lopez's teammate. Log is now a lap down. And you got knocking up the next car up. So you got Lopez now leading 1.8 seconds, 1.2 seconds now. Double A is definitely pulling the pressure.
A massive amount. Oh no! Oh wait, no, that's his teammate. I was going to say no wonder because I thought Lopez had a front wing damage, but no, that's his teammate.
Yes. Yeah, Log is a lap down. Log gets past the pair of them. Fair enough.
But Double A making a massive amount of time. Doesn't appear that Lopez has any damage, so... And the rain does look like it's easing up a little bit. It doesn't look quite as heavy.
The rain is easing up a lot. And obviously you don't get intermediate tyres, of course, as I just mentioned. And
no.
As locking up goes into the pits. Double A gets a good exit.
Kitten Petter, I thought I saw him on the grass. He must have spun the car coming out of turn 5. Still has that end plate damage as he hasn't pitted to replace his front wing. Yes, the battle for the lead is now starting to develop. Half a second between the two now as locking up leaves the session. So that's 4 retirements now. Just half the race done. A lot more racing to go through.
Yeah, rain's easing up now. It's looking like if intermediates exist, it would have been intermediate conditions, definitely. But at the moment, Double A seems more comfortable than Lopez. Phase of the race.
Yeah, maybe Lopez not liking a sort of slushy condition. It's sort of between full wet and intermediate.
Yeah.
He's just not really adapting to it as quickly as Double A is.
At the moment, no. And he needs to start to find some pace somewhere and fast. But he did get a good exit there on the exit turn 11. Sort of bought him a bit of time.
Appears it's the only battle occurring at the moment. But at least it's a battle for the lead, which makes it a lot better. Coming through turn 14. Can Double A get a good run?
Yeah, both got good exits, taking slightly different lines. Because trying to go for the wet part of the track so he can cool his tyres and also break the toe in a way.
Did Mr. Sensation leave the session?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so technically...
I think he did.
There's a couple more retirements, technically.
Yeah, he did leave the session, he's not ghosted.
As Lopez loses a lot of time because of the lap car.
Yeah, Go To Guy gets past B good, P6. As Lopez, as you say, uses a lot of time, and that's something he didn't need. Gap now 2/10.
the chicane. Both drivers appear to be in control.
But yeah, Blade does seem to be the faster driver of the two. But it also has to come to account of where can you overtake. And if Lopez can literally just nail the last corner and nail the first corner. Oh, and he spins. Lopez loses it.
Oh my goodness
Lopez loses
me!
it. Catches it, but
so disappointing to see. Oh, hopefully Lopez can find a bit more speed. Hopefully reignite the battle for the lead. But that's such a unfortunate mistake.
shame.
Just because of the pressure built
But
on by Double
too
A.
much power.
Just gone on the throttle
Yeah,
too early.
just a bit too early and loses back end. But maybe he can follow Double A's line
Sector
potentially.
2 yellows, be good feeder.
Try.
Losing it at turn 9, entering turn 10.
Turn 10 again. Turn 10's been very spinny corner for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is with turn 10.
I don't know either. Like, turn 5 is an obvious one, but yeah, turn 10, for whatever reason, it's catching a lot of people out. Of course, it doesn't help with the wet conditions, and so the chances of spinning go up dramatically. But as he proceeds to spin at the exit of turn 13, still hanging on to P8 though, so
yeah,
he will score a point.
He's got a minute. I mean, yeah, he's got a minute. Be good.
He's going to come in, change his wing, put on a new set of boots, and head out for the final 4 or 5 laps of the race. He gets a 5-second penalty while he's at it, because he's got that much time up his sleeve.
So at the moment, now it's starting to sort of pull away, but it's not really like a massive amount. 4 laps to go, so maybe can Lopez.
Well, I have just noticed that. I thought Double A might really start to pull away, but he hasn't. It's still within that second range.
Yeah. I feel like if Lopez didn't make that mistake, I think he probably would have gotten the win in the bag at the moment, yeah. I think he might be ruining that mistake that he did in the exit of 12, using the power a bit too eagerly and losing it almost.
We have yellow flags.
Yellow and stick to one side, but
a slow car pulling over to the side, so no need to worry about that.
Do we have any other battles? That's the only battle at the moment. It's between the top two. Rain is starting to ease off with 3 laps to go. So Double A is going to get another victory. It'll be his 5th victory. Is it his 5th victory? No, it's his
Let's see.
His fourth victory. His fourth victory. He won the first race he won the feature race in Bahrain. He won the feature race in Italy, and he won the feature race, and potentially will be his 4th race. The sprint race here in Hungary, so it'll be his 4th win of the season. And so I'm to take claim of the championship fight between him and Kittenfeder. And Kittenfeder, again, having a bad sprint race, having also a bad sprint race in Italy, starting to lose points now to Kittenfeder, and it's pretty much going to be a one-sided battle at this point.
But then again, it is very early in the season. Anything can happen, and probably will happen. So
it can happen, indeed will happen.
So every point that he scores is always a bonus. So him currently in P7, he does score 2, and 2 might be the difference towards the end of the championship. Who knows?
Yeah, Double A sets must up for 43.4.
As Lopez must have made a mistake. The gap is now 3.1 seconds. Either that or he's now just settled for second. He doesn't really want to challenge with 3 laps to go.
Yeah. 3 laps to go. Double A is going to get maximum amount, I think. He didn't get the fastest lap, actually. He didn't get the fastest lap in the future. And he didn't get pole position. But I feel like this is probably your top 3. Swan are getting another P3. albeit 11 seconds off the road.
Yeah.
Oh, down the road, should I say. Erect in a solid P4 after having a very shaky first few laps.
Just as I turned to him, he
Erect
had
in
a
P4.
massive tank slapper coming out of turn 3. Oh my goodness me.
I know.
And
Bam
Bam,
having
what a recovery.
another recovery drive. He seems to be enjoying recovery drives, but yeah, P5, solid for him. And Goji Guy recovering after that messy start from India, and Galactic Goji Guy getting back into P6 after being 11th or something or other. And
We have B good feeder pulling off to the side. That explains the yellow flag.
yeah, Kitten Pedder having a messy race also. P7, Be Good Fever, getting the last point. Moment, the sensation log. Log is still going. Log and locking up are still going, I believe. So there's that.
Ah. No climactic battle, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Double
it's all
A.
anticlimactic now. We can.
Yeah, Double A now got a 4.5 second lead over Lopez. Yeah, I think Lopez is just folding his cards at the moment. I think he's quite satisfied with P2.
Yeah, he had a solid start. Start P5, got up to the lead after one lap, and just tried to hold on. Made that error, which is unfortunate, but just on his own moment now. With Sorna also on his own. Erect. I guess we mentioned having a solid race as well, and so is Bam Bam. So yeah.
I don't know what to talk about now.
This isn't really much to say, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's in there. Oh my goodness, hang on. Kitten Petter, I don't know why you're on the grass, mate. Coming into the entry of turn 2.
Giving us a little bit of excitement for the last few years. I mean, the starts have been chaotic, and then
It falls away, yeah.
it falls away very, very quickly. Unfortunately, fell away towards the end. It was chaotic at the start. Nothing much is happening after that. So we head to the final lap. What can be said?
Oh, not
Probably
a lot
going
more.
on for his 4th win in F2. But it'd be his first sprint race win of the season. Haven't had one at all in the first 2 races in Italy and
Schwarner must have made a mistake coming
Bahrain.
out of turn 1.
Yeah, he did. He did make a mistake, I believe. But because he wrecked is 6 seconds? 18 seconds, apparently.
Getting another sector 1 yellow.
No, 5 seconds. 5 seconds, actually, sorry, sir. 5 seconds, not behind. Or is it 14 seconds? It is 14 seconds. Oh, wait, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
So,
They're very, very big gaps.
they are big gaps. I thought it was 5 seconds, it was only 14 seconds. But there you go. And Bam Bam further 9 seconds behind and Go-To Guy further 10 seconds back from that. So yeah, they're all big gaps. But Double A is coming up to the penultimate corner.
As Dougie made mention before, this will be his 4th win out of 6 races. He has shown to everyone, to his rivals and to us, the commentators, and to the viewers watching, this is the guy to beat in Formula 2 as he wins the sprint race at Hungaroring. Lopez led for most of the race. He will finish in P2 with him crashing into the wall, as you do in F1 2019. Schwarner, a solid race from him. He will finish in P3. Erect will finish in P4 after losing 3 places from the start, from starting on pole position. He will finish a solid 4th place, some very good points next to his name. And Bam Bam After what happened in the feature race, Codemasters robbing him of some solid points, he redeems himself, made up 10 places. He will finish 5th. Oh, Be Good Fever, 5-second penalty, an unserved penalty. To add on to that, 1 minute and 19 seconds behind. Oh my goodness. Go To Guy will finish in P6. Kitten Petter, a very unfortunate race for him. He will finish in P7. 2 potentially valuable points for the future into the Formula 2 off-season. With Log and Lucking Up, Log just giving the inside wall a bit of a kiss, because why the hell not? And that will conclude round 3 at Hungary, with AA taking a clean sweep. Victory in both the feature race and the sprint race. As Dougie may mention before, the first time he's done so in this championship. So, come on, there we go. So, AA winning comfortably by 6 seconds and claiming the fastest lap as well, just to assert to everyone here of his sheer dominance within this league, in this championship. Lopez in P2, Schwarner P3, Erich P4, Bam Bam a superb recovery from last to P5. Go To Guy P6, Kitten Petter, a shocking race, unfortunately for him, he will finish P7, and Be Good Fever rounds out the point scorers, 1 lap behind in P8. Whew. Chaos, absolute chaos.
Chaos indeed, and yeah, a lot of instances from the start. It did fall away in the end, but it was an enjoyable one to commentate on at the first 5 or 10 laps, but then it just sort of...
Yeah, it all just fell away.
It fell away so weirdly, and there you go, and that is Hungary. We don't know, we'll find out what the next race is, when we'll know what the next race is, but yeah, that was very good. Very good race to commentate on. Your thoughts, Spike?
Yeah, exactly what you've said. The race at the start was chaotic. It was action packed, but it fell away. There's a couple of circuits that are like that. One of them is Baku. Baku is one of those racetracks where it's really, really chaotic at the start, and then it just falls away. And unfortunately, Hungary is just another one of those circuits. Even when it's raining like it did, the chaos only sort of lingered at the start. But, so that will conclude round 3 of the Formula 2 Championship on TCR. Now, tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, it is pre-season testing at Spain for the Platinum Championship, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, pre-season testing for Platinum. And then next week will be the pre-season test here, also at Hungary, for the Silver, Platinum and Golden drivers as well. So that will be the last test before we head start on the next season, which will start on February the 4th to February the 6th at Bahrain. Silver will be the first race of the season, first race of the league for the new season, season 9 of TCR. And also, to a quick plug, as we do many plugs in this league, we have an affiliation with Fanatec. So we have a Sunny affiliation where we can put you can buy yourself a wheel for 5% off if you use our code as well. Link will be in the description below. So if you want to buy yourself a new wheel today, you get a 5% discount if you use that code below. And also, if you feel like you want to have a go and have join the league as well, there's also a link in the description as well to our website where you can actually see all of our stuff, what we do in the league and everything like that. So you can sign up and then we can be able to give you a trial. So come on up if you think you're good enough. And that's my plug. That's my plugs of the day.
That's your plug. There we go.
It's my
Let's make
shameless
sure we
plugs.
get that
There
in.
you go.
And also to everyone
Yeah.
watching, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for any future races here on the Trinity Competitive Racing Series. Oh, what a race it has been here at Hungary. We will see you tomorrow for pre-season testing at Spain. Air class of TCR, the Platinum Championship. I've been the Smeg. This has been Dougie Falcons, who has been absolutely brilliant as always. And thank you everyone for watching, and for you lot, good night.